Assetto Corsa Rally has just dropped and it's already making waves in the sim racing world. But what is it, what's in it, and is it worth your time? Let's dive in. Developed by Supernova Game Studio in partnership with Kuno Simulazioni, AC Rally was a bit of a surprise when it was announced last month, especially since AC Evo is also early into its early access journey. AC Rally should be considered a separate entity, however. Built on Assetto Corsa's physics engine, then adapted for rally, you can consider this to be a hardcore rally sim. Think precision, weight transfer, realistic grip, full damage simulation, and all of the consequences that come with it. A lot to be excited about then, especially since it released onto early access on November 13th. But Assetto Corsa Evo's early access launch has been less than stellar so far, so you would be right to be a bit on the fence here. Luckily, I'll be here to tell you exactly what you're getting for your time and hard-earned money. So, what can you expect out of the box? First things first, let's talk about the cars. You can expect 10 officially licensed machines to start with. Let's take a closer look. The Alfa Romeo GTA 1300 Junior Group 2, absolutely beautiful car from 1972. The Citroen Zara WRC from 2001. The Fiat 131 Abarth Group 4 from 1976. Lancia Delta HF Integrale Evo Group A from 1992, a throwback from the crazier era of rally. The Lancia Stratos Group 4 from 1976. The Lancia Rally 037 Evo 2 Group B from 1984. The Mini Cooper S Group 2 from 1964, legend. The Peugeot 208 Rally 4 from 2020. The Hyundai i20 Rally 2 from 2021. And finally, the Fiat 124 Sport Abarth Rally 16 valve Group 4 1973. So, where will you be driving and what can you expect? Well, the game launches with 2 locations featuring 2 stages within each. So, let's have a little goose then, shall we? Rally Alsace-Munster. This region is known for a diverse mix of terrains, including forests, mountain and vineyard sections. It was the French qualifier for the WRC starting in 2010 and was characterised by its combination of diverse landscapes. This held it in stark contrast to the tighter stages of Corsica, where the event was previously held. The combination of varied road surfaces demand a diverse skill set from the drivers, since they'll need to handle everything from forest tracks, smooth vineyard roads and mountain tracks. The Severn route served as the French round of the World Rally Championship from 2010 through to 2014. Again, expect varied terrain with challenging forest sections, beautiful vineyard roads, and even brief forays into urban and military areas. This route ran past cities like Mulhouse, which was a location of a major Peugeot plant, highlighting the area's rich association with motorsport and motor industry heritage. This challenging all-gravel stage features stark elevation changes and is a key part of the Wales Rally Great Britain. It has a reputation for treacherous conditions due to potential for deep mud and fog. The tree-lined forest tracks must also be navigated with care, as piles of logs are often situated near the roadside. The roads in Hafren were a mainstay of the classic RAC rally routes for decades, long before the event became Wales Rally GB, with stages focused purely in Wales. The Hafren Forest is named after the River Severn, Afon Hafren in Welsh, since the river's source is located in a peat bog on the slopes of nearby Pumlummon Mountain. Random trivia aside, this stage embodies the spirit of Welsh Rally: high average speeds and smooth gravel made difficult to navigate due to persistent dampness and mud. The Rally Wales routes as a whole have been used in numerous configurations over the years, with different start-finish points and varying lengths. So what about the physics? Well, expect brutal, merciless realism, long braking distances, and no forgiveness if you happen to venture off track. The work they've done with the car suspension is frankly nothing short of witchcraft, so expect weight transfer to matter. This is excellent for me because I now have an avenue to explain to people what a Scandi flick is, despite not being able to do one. If you've become accustomed to Codemasters titles over the years, you may be in for a bit of an awakening in AC Rally. Expect lower grip overall and also big spins if you drive too aggressively or pull the handbrake for too long. The game features an advanced physics-based damage system. It's quite impressive seeing stuff fall off the car, to be honest. In early access, however, the consequences of this are purely limited to cosmetic and punctures. Expect this to be more fleshed out in future updates, however. The weather, as expected, directly affects your experience in-game. The game takes this to a granular level, however. Aside from the core weather, expect time of day, humidity, and surface type to all play a factor on grip levels and handling. The ante is upped further with dynamic conditions, where you can go from dry to rainstorm all within the same stage. Pretty cool stuff if I do say so myself. So the game runs in Unreal 5, which doesn't have the best track record for racing games. Here though, honestly, it's great, and the visual fidelity is absolutely stunning at times. It looks truly next gen, and in particular, the level of detail on the car in the wet is out of this world. If I was walking through a room and saw that on TV, I probably wouldn't notice that it's a game, if I'm being honest. You will also find really cool immersive little elements like the environment reacting to you smashing into it, and rally fans being generally mental and running in front of cars. The love and attention that the devs have put into this sim is constantly on display and only serves to fill me with confidence at what the end product will be. I will say that I've experienced a bit of pop-in from time to time and random stutter, particularly on the replays. My frame rate seems steady, so let's chalk that down to the fact that this is a 0.1 release and not everything is entirely polished yet. So, how have my first few hours been with AC Rally? Well, to be blunt, really bloody good. I've been bouncing in anticipation to finish work today so I can get back onto it and crash into more inanimate objects. I think the learning curve will vary on the user, to be honest. I primarily involve myself with track sims and my first run was a very rude awakening. It took me about 6 or 7 attempts before I achieved a truly clean run and a silver medal in Rally Weekend to accompany it. If you're a rally sim veteran, I imagine you'll find yourself right up to speed in no time. If you're a Simcade rally veteran, you will certainly find this way more challenging. Bottom line, the game is hard. Very hard in fact, but very rewarding too. I'll put it this way, if you are coming from EA's WRC or Dirt Rally, brace yourself, this one is way less forgiving. On the wheel it feels great, the bounces, bumps and weight transfer of the car all come through the force feedback. The game defaults at 80 in the menu. I did find I had to turn that up to about 140 and may go even further in the future as the default settings felt overly light for me. This will vary on wheel and setup though, I suppose. Right, so if the audio or my voice sounds different for this section, I do apologise. I got ill before I could finish the video. For all you controller users out there, I've tried it with that too, and I am happy to report it is absolutely fine without a wheel. In fact, I'd even go as far to say it's easier on controller. You can hit all of the inputs much faster, but the obvious trade-off here is you lose immersion of throwing that wheel around through busy sections. I'll be sticking with the wheel for that reason alone, but it's still pretty good without. Frankly, there have been a lot of standout moments, so let's frame this another way. Have you ever had one of those races or experiences in sim racing where you effectively hit a flow state? You're entirely immersed into what's happening and laps or minutes just pass by like water off a windscreen. That is precisely what this game gives you. You're required to live entirely in the moment and react to the difficulties the terrain throws at you. It's a beautiful thing, and it is entirely what sim racing is about for me. Performance then. My rig is decidedly middle of the line, I would say. Not high end, not low end, just average. It runs absolutely fine at 2K resolution, the visuals are crisp and my frame rates are extremely stable. No crazy dips in FPS when hitting certain areas of a course or when racing in adverse conditions like heavy rain. In my personal experience, it seems very well optimized straight out of the box. There are 5 officially listed game modes, which are Rally Events, Free Practice, Rally Weekend, Single Rally Stage, Time Attack with online leaderboards. Ultimately though, it does all boil down to you tackling a rally route in your chosen car and setup in an entirely solo scenario. You can earn medals in certain modes to keep you aiming for things if you so choose. I'd be keen to see a full career mode implemented into the future, although what that would look like and what it would feature would be pure speculation at the moment. And that is my very early take on AC Rally. Have you tried it yet or considered grabbing it? I would love to hear your thoughts. My 2 cents worth is it is absolutely worth a punt for 20 quid. I've paid more for bad takeaways, to be honest. Thanks for watching. I've been Sector 1 and you've been an absolute treasure. If you like my content, consider subscribing to the channel where I cover off awesome but lesser known Assetto Corsa mods, historic motor racing mini documentaries featuring a mix of archive and in-game footage, racecraft breakdowns and weekly 60-second sim news shorts. Ciao for now.